everyone, welcome back to RTS. I hope all of you are doing well. In today's video, we are going to do some celebrating and creating. So the celebrating part is that we are going to be celebrating our lovely Joanne Bartel's 2,000 subscriber milestone. She hit it recently, so she said, you want to join in and celebrate her 2,000 milestone marker? I said, absolutely. So the deal was that you could do anything you want, or you could scrap lift something from Joanne. So if you know Joanne's channel, yeah, there's a lot of prettiness over there. And then the one thing that I really enjoy is the reoccurring series that they have. And the first one that Joanne has on her channel is Pink Fresh Fridays, and the other one is Simple Stories Saturdays. So her and a lot of other wonderful scrapbookers here do these series, and they really are inspiring and motivating. So make sure you check them out. I will have Joanne's channel linked below, so check out those series. So I thought, why not scrapbook with some Simple Stories Lemon Twist? Now this is a collection that I get asked about all the time about creating with, and also it's something that I haven't played with very much. So let's do some celebrating and creating. Now with this Lemon Twist, it is kind of difficult to scrapbook with this if you just keep within the narrow color scheme that Simple Stories did, which was black, yellow, and turquoise. And of course you got a lot of lemons thrown in there, so it looks like it's a heavy theme, but if you go past the theme and look beyond the theme, you can use it for other things. And I think the one thing that you could do to add to this Lemon Twist, and I think it would be easier to play with, is if you look at the other color that was represented somewhat in the papers, and that is the influence of green. And that's what I'm going to do for my page today, is I'm going to bring in some green, and we are going to play with something else that I get asked about. When it comes to Simple Stories, they also have these sticker sheets that have these great big borders. So they call it a banner sticker. So we're going to play with one of those banner stickers because they're not hard to play with. They're very easy to play with because they do all the work for you, and then you can dress it up. So that's what we're going to play with today. Now what I'm also going to play with today is the papers of, this one is called Easy Peasy, which is great, and then this one here, which is the back of the 4x6 elements. So just a couple pieces of paper, but with that, what do I have? Turquoise, yellow, and black. So this is what I was saying, was adding in that influence of green. And then of course, you know, recently I did a video showing about DIY embellishment kits, and you can create embellishment kits on the cheap very quickly, and it saves time and money. It truly does, with anything you have. And so I call this my Starbucks box because I do have some Starbucks memorabilia in there. And so you can see that it is the yellow and the black, and we got some wood grain in here, but I also have all of this green. So this is perfect to add to this Simple Stories Lemon Twist. We're going to add some green. So, and I'm also going to be playing with the elements in here because I am going to do a layout about Starbucks. It was just a happy little moment, and I'm going to scrapbook that. So here is the papers I'm going to play with, and it's a really simple bare bones design, but when we're done with it, because of that banner sticker and this DIY embellishment kit of all this fun stuff, it's not going to look simple, but it's not going to take a lot of time. So what we're going to do is start with a 12x12 of this black dot. Again, it was the B side of the 4x6 cards. We're going to plop it there. And then this Easy Peasy. Now this is perfect because it has all of these drinks on here. So it has lemon soda, lemon marmalade, and just, lemon soda and other things. So it has food and drink is what I'm going to say. So I cut this into 6 inches and then instantly gave it a paper tear, and bing, bang, boom. There's your page. How easy is that? Because this multi-heavy icon paper is just gorgeous, and it does all the work. So I'm going to put it down just a little bit because I'm also now going to bring in some texture, and I'm going to bring in some crocheted green lace, and I'm going to plop that up at the top. And then how will I secure that? Now there is adhesive on the back of this, but I don't trust it. So I have learned over the years that if you want to do anything with fabric, and lace and ribbon. You do yourself a favor and get yourself a roll of score tape. It's very inexpensive for how much you get, and get the real deal score tape. And a Cherry on Top now carries that, and I think maybe, well, I know a Cherry on Top does. And so what I do is I just buy the 1/4 of an inch. There is many varieties, and I always think this is perfect for adding it to ribbon. Or lace, such as this. And then if you need more, you just do 2 strips of it. So just 1/4 of an inch of a roll. And if I can find the exact link, I will have it listed below in the description box. So this already has adhesive on it, but I will put on my own score tape. And then I'm going to put that on the top. So now my strip of paper now has a header. And then what I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to put my photo, which is just a 4x6 photo. I cut it down a little bit because we were in the parking lot. So some things I don't need. And then I did back it on one of the piece of yellow basics that Simple Stories had. Now that is something I am realizing in these Simple Stories collections. They're just beautiful. They're just beautiful. Is that, you know, they have these basics that go with their collections, and some of their papers get to be so busy when you're using all of them together. These basics are really a great buffer to have when you're playing with the collection packs. And if you don't buy these, just go to your stash and get some basic papers. I think you can really stretch your paper that way. So that's what I'm going to do for my matting. And now what I'm going to do is bring in that green again, and I'm going to give my photo plus the mat another mat, and I'm going to layer this down here just like this. Now what I'm also going to do is now focus on that banner. And you're going to see probably in the close-ups when I do this photo mat for the green, I'm not going to do it center on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift it over to the left, and I'm going to have these polka dots putting over here, showing up here on the right, because we are talking about Starbucks. Why not? Now, what I wanted to do was add some more texture, and I thought, okay, you know, we went to Starbucks, got a drink, yada, yada, but let's add some doilies, because that's what we all like to do when we're talking about food and drink. So have you done this lately, is to take your doilies, cut them in half just like this, you know, extend them a little bit, and then what we're going to do is we are going to build an edge piece. We're going to build a border with these doilies. How fun is this? And then if you want more to show, then maybe don't cut them in half, but cutting in half will stretch them. And yeah, isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, that is so fun. And all it is a doily cut in half, but boy, it sure brings forth the mood and feel of getting a hot vanilla latte, does it not? So we'll put these back on top of this. And look at the interest and texture we have already. And we haven't even broke a sweat. No, very simple. So this is what I'm saying. If you like playing with Simple Stories collections, please make sure you check out Joanne and the gang at the Simple Stories Saturday series. Whew. Tongue twister. You have to watch it. It's just great. They do a lot of stuff there. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we are going to break out that banner sticker. Oh my goodness. Now what I like to do when I'm playing with this is before I even start putting it on my page, as I flip it over and I put nothing but foam tape all over the back of it, because that is such an ornate piece. It truly is. So why not make it the centerpiece as far as your embellishments? Add some foam tape, and you can get low profile foam tape, meaning it's not very thick, it's not very thick in dimension. So if you don't like lump and bump on your pages, you can still get some dimension without a lot of bulk. So look for that low profile foam squares or foam tape, however you want to look at that. And then what I do is I use my bigger pieces, because this is a big banner sticker, and plop plop, look at what that does. Now you would think that this is such a busy piece of paper, why would you put this banner, which is very busy, on top of it? What it does is that that busy paper now gives that busy banner piece, it gives it a home. It really is. It just all looks good together. It really does. And then of course you can see that this is really ornate up here, and then down here I don't have much going on, and I'm going to keep it that way. So my objective when I scrapbook is always, of course, recording the story. So I always tell myself, photo, title, journaling. So right there's my photo, That's embellishment, but it could be your title. So then I'm always thinking, what's going to be my title? My title is going to be, I'm lucky to have you, and I'm going to plop it. I have some dead space in my photo, so why not make use of it? And that is just a piece of wood veneer. I believe that's from L's Studio back in the day. And you can always shop at L Studio and make sure you sign up for their mailing list because they have great offers. And I'll have the link below for L Studio. And then, of course, I have plenty of room down here for my story. So, objective met. Photo, title, journaling. The rest is just pretty stuff. So let's go ahead and dress up this banner. So I am going to add something. What I wanted to do was find something to go into that frame. And I thought, what could I do? And I found an old school piece of Maggie Holmes, the #2, because it was my little peeping eye. And then, of course, I know now I have this brown wood veneer, this craft #2. So I know to create a visual triangle to get in a piece of brown something over here, because even though I am working with basically just a border piece of paper, just a strip or a band piece of paper, that's all this design is. The go-to design of the band is just a band of paper, 6 by 12 with some paper tearing, is that I don't have to worry about a visual triangle, or I can get that in there. So I'm going to grab a piece of flair, and again, all of that stuff was in my DIY embellishment kit. Oh my goodness, it was so easy just to sit and play. I didn't have to do the jackrabbit syndrome, which means getting up, getting down, getting this, getting that, you know, how it used to be. I don't like to do that when I scrapbook. So then what I'm going to do is complete this little bit of a visual triangle here. Now, the only thing I'll say with the Simple Stories border and banner stickers is that you sometimes have to look at it as a whole in order to get it on there straight. So sometimes I think, oh, it looks good this way. No, you have to maybe go by the ends here because there's so much going on. So if I put these knots here by this ribbon, if I put these even, see how that frame looks crooked? But if I keep my focus on this flag, then it looks straight. But if I do the frame, this oval frame straight on, see how it makes it uneven? So don't always go by the biggest element in these banner stickers for placement. Maybe go by your knots or your ends, or maybe the writing on your sticker. So just a little bit of trick I've had to learn playing with them, and I love them. I love them. I wish they weren't so expensive, but hey, as my hubby says, if you want it, you got to pay for it. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to make sure the words Happy Day is straight on, linear, things like that. So there's my 2. And I'm going to finish up this little grouping right here, which is going to be bringing in that green, which is a button that was my grandmother's. I grabbed it from my jar, and you can tell it's old because I got to do a little bit of work to it. It still has the wire in it. So yeah, that was my grandmother's button. So I will take the wire out. I mean, I could leave it in there, but you know, it will rust. So I'm going to take that out of there. And then I have an old school I was going to say making memories, but no, my mind's eye bread. So those 3 elements will just be a little grouping there. And then I'm also, what else am I going to do? I think what I'm going to do before I get too much into these things is that I like the way that banner sticker is. It does all the work, but I like a lot of layers. Now, you could stop right there and maybe put something, say you want to put maybe a brad or enamel dot right there. And then you could put your journaling down here, and then you're done. I mean, bing, bang, boom, that's it. That's all you need. A little bit here, a little bit there. There's your journaling, you're done. But I like to add layers. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to something that I am completely obsessed with right now. And it is 49 & Market laser cuts. Completely. And you get 4 sheets in every pack. And they are like 6 by 12 sheets. And it says 71 elements. But I love the intricacy of these because I'm not going to do it myself, and some of the die cuts I have just aren't this intricate. So I'm going to be playing with some of them. These are from the Strawberry Lemonade set, and I'm going to add to it. So again, that pop of green is going to come into play. So what I'm going to do is take this flower and this right here, and I'm going to take this flower and these leaves, and then I'm going to take a couple more. I'm going to take a couple more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress up this banner sticker. So when it comes to these laser cuts, don't be afraid to cut them apart to get what you want. See this orange, great big flower? That necessarily might not work on our pages. So maybe you just want to cut it here and then play with the leaves, cut it here and play with the leaves, and then cut it up here and just play with the flower part. So then you would basically get 3 in 1. It's the same way with something like this daisy down here, this one right here, is that maybe I don't want it that long, so I would cut it in half, use the flower part, and then use the stem part someplace else. And that's how I got my stems here. I just cut them off something else. So I'm going to put this white one here so you can see that I was cutting that. And I'm going to put it right underneath here. And I'll have some completed close-ups at the end of the video. So let's put this underneath here, and then let's put these leaves underneath the flower. So it just gives me some more. Oh my goodness, it just gives me more. That's exactly what it does. It just gives me more. I love all this. And of course, they're going to be tucked. So the person who isn't playing with all this thinks they were just all made together. And then of course, I'm going to take this piece here and maybe we'll plop it underneath this turquoise piece. And then again, everything's shifting here. And more of these leaves. And then if I wanted to, I can make this connective now, meaning that this banner sticker no longer has to be up here in its own neighborhood. I can take these leaves and have them drape on my photo, and then it just looks all connective and gorgeous. And then of course a couple more pieces. Here's a little yellow flower, and this again, see, this is just a little piece that I cut off of another flower. Yeah, I just cut them to make them work well how you want. So I'm going to stick it over here. And then of course, playing with this banner sticker on foam tape is not the easiest, so you have to be a little patient with it. Give it some attention. So now what I'm doing is I'm not ignoring the turquoise, but I'm not making it the front runner. What I'm doing is making green the front runner. So just find some green embellishments that breaks up that monotony of the black, the turquoise, and the yellow. I think it's easier to play with. And so then I think it's easier to find other things to play with it too. Now what I'm also going to do is, let's see, let's bring some of all this down into here. And what I'm going to do is just bring a small representation. So I have another yellow flower, a white flower, another one of my grandma's green buttons, and then a braid and things like that. And so I'm just going to put these over here by my photo, just some pretty stuff. And then of course there's going to be my green button, and then I have some text on this button, which kind of goes with the banner up there, and then also a yellow braid. I'm just going to put them down in a cluster, just like that. And then I need a little bit of something. I got a little bit of a grouping here, lump and bump. So I want a little bit of lump and bump, and I mean a little. So I'm just going to take a wood veneer heart that's got some yellow on it, and then I'm going to finish up with some enamel dots. Now, let's talk about my journaling for a minute, because this is my story. It's already typed out. And it was just about me and my little one. And we went to Starbucks to get a latte because we were headed to the grocery store. Well, what ended up happening is that before we even got into the grocery store, we pulled in, we sat in the parking lot and chatted for over an hour, and then it started to rain, and then we were watching people driving so crazy in the parking lot, and we just had fun. And so I have on my journaling, why is it that the most random, unplanned moments in life bring about the most happiness? And truly, that was just such a great time. It wasn't even planned. And so then I have my journaling already printed. I do computer generated journaling because you see, I get a little chatty. And this all looks good, but this looks a tad flat. So what I'm going to do then is just put a mat of white for my journaling, just like that. And what it does is it just elevates it, because now it can somewhat compete with all the dimension I have going on there. And then of course, let's follow up with some fun stuff. So, you know, they also have the sticker sheet, so I could put a little bit of stickers on here. So there's a sticker that says today, which that's what I'm talking about, today. So today was a happy day. And then of course, let's go to something new, which is this Gingham Gardens Puffies Oh my goodness. And see, there you can play with that green and the yellow and the black and white. All of those would work. That really would. So I'm going to have the sticker that says Just Us. And I love this. Well, I just love puffies. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put on here Just Us on the chipboard number 2 because it was just us sitting in the car having fun. And then, of course, there was the word love on that puffy set. So I'm going to put it over here just to add a little bit of visual interest. And then the word happy, because that was me. Happy, happy. When I get to be with my little beep. So what I'm going to do is put it down here somewhere in this vicinity, in this neighborhood. It's going to have happy. So that means those little puffies that I got from this set here, they make a visual triangle. Now we could also dress up more of this banner sticker. So what I like to do is, what else does Simple Story have included? Well, you got some hearts, you got some butterflies, and lemons. I don't want to do the lemons, so I thought, okay, butterflies. So let's go get some puffies. And Amy Tangerine had this set. I'm not sure what was this called. It was in 2017, but she had the boba drinks and lemons, so of course they would go good. But there was also bees in there. So I'm going to put a bee over here, or right there. And then I'm going to put another bumblebee. Let's see, how about if we put it over here by the word today, and then that'll bring it about. So all I did was just add a few things that brought that more to life. And then the finishing touch, once again, we're going to end the way we started with a pop of green. So I'm going to take a little bit of green, and I'm going to put them, just little ones, in the center of these 3 flowers. Just the ones that's on the banner sticker. I'm not going to worry about the flowers that's layered underneath. No, we're just going to do right there. And then, of course, I'm going to have 2 more. And I want to finish up over here with this little bit of a cluster with this heart. So I got 2 little green ones again. And guess what color they are? They're Starbucks green. They really are. They really are. So I loved playing with this lemon twist, but focusing on the green because it helped me tell my story. You know, that just getting some coffees, having them in hand, unexpected moments, just being happy. Absolutely. So I'm going to do one more thing for this page, and one thing I like to do for my pages is to give them a mat, which I consider a frame because this is my story. So we always like to put our photos in frames. Why not put our stories in frames? So I'm going to take this embossed white cardstock, and I think this came from Die Cuts with a View back in the day, and guess what I'm going to use? And we talk about mood and feel all the time over at Patreon, and this is exactly what I mean. Mood and feel. So you know when you go to Starbucks, what do they have for a logo? The mermaid, of course. So I picked an embossed white cardstock that has mermaid scales, of course. Now you may not see all of it, but it's that little reference that I know that is there. The little bit of the mermaid scales. And so I'll just frame my entire layout with a little bit of those mermaid scales. Yeah. Now wait a minute. I think I might have it upside down because I see the perforated edge. And that's how it came out of the pad. So how would you do it? Would you do your mermaid scales this way? Or would you do your mermaid scales this way? I think I'll do them this way because I like the movement of them. So yeah, I will cut down this black piece of paper from Simple Stories that's on the back of the 4x6. And I'll get a little bit of mermaid scale in there. A little bit of mood and feel. A little bit of helping you tell your story without having you tell your story. So that is what I have for today. I will have some completed close-ups at the end of the video. If you are interested in more of all of this type of thing, talking about using different colors on your pages, talking about DIY embellishment kits, playing with 49 in Market, and also Mood and Feel, hop over to Patreon. And then also, happy International Scrapbook Day, because that will be coming up, and we will be celebrating with a mega event over there, and we are going to be doing a fabulous 40. So you're more than welcome to hop over, join in. It's just $1 a month. That's all it is. It's just a place to play. That's all it is. And what are we going to do for Fabulous 40? We're going to take 40 pieces of paper, create 10 layouts, and do it all within a week. And that is the fabulous 40. Of course, we have some other things going on. So join in if you wish. And again, congratulations to our lovely Joanne for reaching that 2,000 subscriber milestone marker. But honestly, I think a lot of people on here should have 20,000 subscribers because there is a wonderful community here on YouTube and Patreon. We're very blessed in our scrapbooking industry to have all of these platforms that we can enjoy each other and enjoy this hobby. So happy International Scrapbook Day. Come back to RTS and keep recording the story. Bye.